Man, a black kitchen is not a good choice for video making. Check this out. Boom! And back to being able to see the buns, and back to being burned out. Yeah, if I got a bright, shiny stainless steel counter, the light around here would be so much brighter than it is with black counters and black floors. Anyway, I recently decided to try making bread using olive oil instead of butter. When I first looked up the recipe, it said 1.5 pounds of flour to 1/2 ounce of butter. I played around with it and changed that recipe to be 1 pound of flour to 1 ounce of butter, and then because flour came in 1.5 kilogram sacks, adjusted it to 500 grams of flour to 1 ounce of butter, because the butter still came in 8 ounce bars. Now that it comes in metric as well, I'm going to have to come up with some number that's an exact fraction of a metric bar of butter. It amused me to note that Morrison's yeast uses the same recipe as me. There they are. They have adopted my 500 grams and 1 ounce recipe rather than the 1.5 pounds to 1/2 ounce that I copied. Interestingly, they put the yeast straight in rather than activating it in water. What I have here is two batches of 6 from a single batch of yeast, 6 buns with olives in. When I tried making them, they were good, but a lot of them came out dry, some of them less dry than others. The ones with lime juice, replacing a lot of the water, stayed moist, which to me says that olive oil isn't retaining the water as well as butter did, because the butter ones always stayed moist. Of course, I had 3 times as much as standard, but the olive oil ones didn't. So I have 2 things here. This is 1 tablespoon of olive oil to 500 grams of flour, which is the straight conversion from my 3 times standard butter recipe. That's half of it. This is the other half, which has another tablespoon added, making this 3 times that much oil to flour ratio. These are my focaccia. They have been sitting in an electric oven at just set to 40 centigrade, so warm but not hot enough to kill the yeast, and they have risen to some extent. What I would normally do is just turn the oven up, let it get hot, stick them in for 10 minutes. What I'm going to do instead is take up Steaming Cup of Reason's suggestion of steaming them. I can tell you which ones I'm going to steam. This one, and 1 other from there, and that one and 2 others from there, because they're the ones with the olives on the outside, and I don't want to burn the olives by putting them in the oven. Of course, I don't have a steamer pan. I went looking for a steamer pan, I went looking for a steel rack I could put inside the pan to hold these up while I simmer just some water underneath. Nobody sells them, but I did find this. And these. These are the American style cup measures. What have I got? 1 cup, 1/2 cup, 1/3 of a cup and 1/4 of a cup, so if you half of that every 1/6. Unless you get those fractions. I reckon if I just turn them upside down and put them into a pan of water, I can put 1 bun on the back of each of those 3 cups. Just tuck that one underneath one of the others. And they should transmit heat through, even if they don't transmit steam through. This one is going to transmit both through and do an interesting thing to the texture of the underside of the bun. So that should, both versions should let the dough get very hot. One of them is going to have steam in direct contact with the underside of the bun, one of them is going to have dry metal there. I don't know how much difference that makes. The interesting problem here is that steam conducts heat better than humid air, which conducts heat better than dry air, but I don't know exactly how much better, and I don't know what temperature the air in the oven really is, and of course I use a fan oven and the steam's going to be circulating in the pan, so I don't know how long to steam them for. So this is going to be experimental, and I'll try to remember to make another video after I'm done to let you know how it went. Might even show you in my incredibly brightly lit kitchen. It's almost like a summer day in here. It's beautiful.